welcome to Pure Yoga Union and Fusion Month, and this is the Vinyasa Flow. So this practice is called a bunch of threes. So we're going to be doing 2 standing poses with a balance, and we're going to be doing different sets of those and changing the poses throughout. We're going to be doing a little bit of sun salutation in between, so enjoy the practice, enjoy the flow. We're going to start in child's pose. Make sure you have some water. If you're used to using a block to help you ground and support and find a little bit of stability in poses, make sure you've got a block to the side, right side of the mat. Find yourself in child's pose, knees nice and wide apart, and then start to walk the hands forward, slowly towards the front of the mat as you bring that chest down towards the floor. And then as that forehead meets the mat, you can either place the block under the forehead if that feels better for you, or just bring it straight to the mat. Try and encourage the seat towards the feet as much as you can, but if that is feeling a little tight for you because it's maybe first thing in the morning, then obviously you can place a block underneath the bum and in between the bum and the heels. So those blocks can be used quite a lot throughout the practice if you feel or require them. I will cue if you need to use the block or if you don't. Obviously some people have a better range of movement and can reach the floor without them. Some people need to use the block to bring the floor a little closer to them. So now we're in child's pose. Think about that whole body from the fingertips down to the toe tips, and think about that body holistically. Try not to separate one part of the body from the other, moving everything together, knowing that connective tissue goes from the fingertips down to the toe tips to the crown of the head. Connective tissue covers the whole body, a fibrous product in the body which can get tight, which can cause tightness throughout any area of the body, and when it causes tightness in one part, it can send different feelings into other parts of the body. Take a nice long deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out through the mouth. If you choose to take on that Ujjayi breath, that slight restriction at the back of the throat, feel free to start that breath now. The true yogic breathing is in and out through the nose. Easy breaths in, long breaths out. So as I said, we're going to be doing 2 poses with a balance on the end. So we are doing them in bunches of 3s. Start to walk the hands over to your right side. Bring your left hand on top of the right and sink in the chest to the inside of that right thigh. Take a long deep breath in through the nose here and out through the nose. Walk the hands back through center and over to the opposite side. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Walk the hands back to center and take a breath out in neutral spine. Make your way up onto your hands and knees under the hips, heel of the hands under the shoulders, and take a round of cat-cow. Breath in, lifts up the head, lifts up the bum, drops the belly. Breath out, we fold everything in, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. And again, breath in, lift the head, lift the tailbone, drop the belly. And breath out, fold everything in, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. One more breath in, lift the head, lift the bum, drop the belly. Breath out, tuck everything in. Come back to neutral spine. Step both feet back to plank. Hold it in plank for a couple of breaths. Then when you're ready, send your hips high and paddle the feet as you arrive in your first downward facing dog. Have a nod, have a shake of the head. So I'm going to give you 4 options of vinyasas, but we're going through the vinyasas 5 times as we need to do a left and right with one of the options. Come forward to plank on your inhale. Drop down with the knees and tuck the toes, turn the creases of the elbows, release down to the floor. On your breath in, take a little back bend, baby cobra. Breath out, release the chest down, tuck under the toes, chest back to the thighs. Then push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips and squeeze the heels back. Option 1, stick with that if you wish, or option 2, come forward to plank on the inhale. Turn the creases of the elbows forward and lower your body all the way to the floor with a straight body. If you needed to have dropped the knees and tuck the toes. Maybe come a little higher with your back bend. Release the chest back down, tuck under with the toes, bring the chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet and lift up the hips to squeeze the heels back. Option 1 or 2 or option 3 with me, forward to plank, inhale. Release to a hover, elbows grazing those ribs. Roll through, up, lift up the chest, rolling over the toes, thighs stay away. And then take it back into down dog, rolling straight over those toes, or bring those chests back to the thighs, meeting back in down dog. So option 4 is going to be the lift of one leg into chaturanga. Stick with whatever option you wish to go for. If you're coming with me, breath in raises the right leg and we come forward to a plank. Breath out, release to a hover. Hop off the back toes, drop the right toes down, lift up the chest. And then take it back to down dog, lifting the hips, squeezing the heels back. So same on the other side. If you've done the right, breath in, lift up the left leg, come forward to plank. And release down to a hover. Hop off the back toes, drop the left foot, lift the chest. And take it back to down dog, lifting the hips, squeezing the heels back. So if you take the choice of option 4, always do left and right side alternately. If you're not choosing to do that, then obviously we just do our normal vinyasas. So we have an option 5. Bend the knees, bend the elbows and scoop the body through to chaturanga. Lift up with the chest and then take it back to down dog. I'll take you through that one more time, or choose your vinyasa. So bend the knees, bend the elbows to hover, roll through to chaturanga. Lift up the chest, roll over the toes, take it back to down dog, lifting the hips, squeezing those heels back. So we're in down dog, maybe have a paddle of the feet. We're doing our first set of 3. Warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, all on that right side leg. Your breath in, raise the right leg. And on your breath out, bring the knee to the chest, come onto the toes of the back foot and step your right foot through. Drop your left heel down internally, keep the shoulders facing forward as you raise the arms to find our warrior 1. Sink the hips, push into the outside edge of that left foot, the whole front foot. Relax the shoulders down, but reach up tall through the arms. Try and find a little bit of abdominal engagement here by lifting the lower belly up, tethering those ribs and hips. Push energetically into both feet, engage the outside of that right hip to keep that right hip supported. One more breath in warrior 1 before we find our warrior 2. So bringing your right hand forward, your left hand back, and find that warrior, arms to a T shape. Thinking about encouraging that right knee out to the pinky toe on that right foot. Lift up with the lower belly and draw the belly back. Both arms in a nice long line. Check in with that back left arm to see whether it's level with the right arm. Maybe sink those hips a little further down towards the floor. Feel that earth push into that solid base, particularly the outside edge of that left foot. Growing tall through the crown. Shoulders are stacked over the hips for this warrior two. Then scoop your left arm down and around and step forward onto your right foot, bringing your left knee through up to hip height. Then send your left foot back, bringing your torso in line with the hips, your left heel in line with the hips. So we have a nice long line from the crown of the head. Keep abdominals engaged in the center. Then if you wish to reach forward with the hands, reach forward. It's not something I can do right now as I'm in a tighter space. Try not to let that left hip lift. Keep both hips nice and level. One more breath here. Then bend into that right knee, step your left foot back. Bring your hands either side of the right foot. Raise your right leg up to the ceiling. If you're going with one leg vinyasa, feel free to keep that leg lifted or drop it if you wish. I'm taking the 3-leg vinyasa, coming forward to plank. Release to a hover. Hop off the back toes, drop the right foot down, lift up the chest. Take it back to down dog. Lifting those hips, squeezing those heels back. So we'll have to do, if you've done that 3-legged vinyasa, you'll need to do that again when we do the left side. On your breath in, your left leg lifts. On your breath out, bring that knee to the chest. Gaze in between the hands as you step that left foot through. Drop your right heel down internally, hips and shoulders stay facing forward as you raise the arms. Try not to flare the ribs too much here. Keep everything engaged. Push energetically down into both feet. Breathing easy. We're holding just for one more breath. Maybe sink a little lower into those hips. Relax those shoulders. Then bring your left hand forward, your right hand back. Warrior two. Sink lower in those hips. Think about all those cues of knee turning out to the pinky toe. Both arms nice and level, palms facing down. Energetically pushing into the feet. Stacking the shoulders over the hips. Lifting the lower belly up and tucking the tailbone under. Strong warrior two. Then turn the shoulders forward, bring your right arm down and around. Step forward onto your left foot, bring your right knee through and up to hip height. Then start to lean forward with the torso. Try not to let the right hip lift. Keep it level with the left. Torso in line with the hips. Heel of the right foot in line with the hips. Long line from the crown of the head to the heel. And again, if you wish to reach forward with the arms, the longer you make the limbs, the harder the pose becomes. But try and stay nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Squeeze that right bum cheek to keep that right leg lifted. Keep the abdominals squeezing back to keep that core center engaged. One more breath here. Then bend into that left knee, bring your right foot back, bring hands either side of the left foot. Raise the left leg high to the ceiling. If you did 3-legged vinyasa on one side, do it the same on this. Forward to plank, inhale. Remember your choice vinyasa, release to a hover. Hop off the back foot, lift up the chest. Making your way back to down dog. Lifting the hips, squeezing those heels back. So that's our first set of 3. Our second set of 3 will be reverse triangle, triangle, and half moon. Weight comes into your left foot as you raise your right leg. Bring that knee into the chest. Gaze in between the hands, come onto the toes of the back foot as you step your right foot through. Step your left foot slightly forward and drop the heel. If you wish to use the block, put it to the outside of that right leg. And then straighten the right leg, bring your left hand to the outside edge of that right foot. And then lift that right hand up to the ceiling and rotate and twist the body around to the right side of the room, encouraging your left hip forward and your right hip back. If that right arm isn't comfortable lifted, bring it onto the lower back. Remember, you don't have to use a block. You can bring that hand all the way to the floor if it reaches. And you've got that range of movement in that right hamstring to do so. Breathe easy in this reversed triangle. Reverse Trikonasana. Maybe your gaze can go up to that right thumb. It will challenge the balance a little more. Try not to grip with the toes, relax through the feet, but push energetically into the floor. All the time trying to send that right hip back and the left hip forward. One more breath here. And then bringing the torso up, bringing your left hand up and over, and then both hands to a T shape. Reach forward with the right hand, bring the right hand to the inside of that right leg as your left hand lifts, finding our triangle pose, leaning over that front right leg. So try not to lock out in the joint of the right knee. Keep that little micro bend. Keep the length along that right side body, head in line with the spine. Just reaching down as far as you can go without dropping the shoulders forward. Feel like two planes of glass are on each side of that body. And you fit in between the two. Triangle pose in this position. Left shoulder stacked on top of the right. Full alignment. Easy breaths in and out through the nose. Then bring that left hand onto the hip, bend into your right knee. Step forward onto your right foot as you lift your left leg up to hip height. Fingertips on the floor with the right hand or bringing them onto a block. And then reach that left hand back up to the ceiling if you can. Keeping that balance, maybe gazing out to the side or up to that left hand. The toes of the left foot are pointing out. The heel is pushing away. Feeling that left shoulder stacking still on top of the right shoulder. Just taking our balance of this bunch of three, half moon. One more breath here. And then take a bend into your right knee. Bring your left foot down. Turn to face the front of the mat. Ground the hands. Raise that right leg up to the ceiling. Either bring your three-legged vinyasa. I'm taking the fifth option, so I'm bringing my right foot down. Bending the knees, bending the elbows, and scooping the body through like a snake. Lift up through the chest. Make your way back to down dog. Lifting the hips and squeezing those heels back. Have a nod, have a shake of the head. Try and encourage those heels as close to the floor as you can. Pushing that chest back towards those thighs, but keeping some core engagement here. So we're trying to not necessarily arch too much in the back like this and extend too much through the shoulders. We're trying to get nice and strong through the core. Next breath in, raise that left leg, opposite side now. Bring that knee into the chest, come onto the toes of the back foot as you step your left foot through. Step your right foot slightly forward and drop the right heel down. You can use the block and bring it to the outside edge of that left foot, or bring the hand to the outside edge, straighten the left leg, turn the shoulders, maybe reach up with that left hand if you wish, or bring that left hand onto the lower back if that feels better, and an anchor to turn the body. So both legs are as straight as you can make them. You will feel it in the hamstring of that left leg. Encourage your right hip forward, your left hip back, so you're almost scissoring those thighs. Maybe the gaze goes up towards that left thumb. Reverse triangle. Remember, you don't have to reach the floor with this. If you're still up here, Use a block. One more breath here. And then lift up through the shoulders. Bring right arm up and over. Turn the shoulders towards the right side room. Reach forward and down with the left hand as you reach the right hand to the ceiling to find your triangle pose. Soften that left knee. Try not to lock out that joint. Tuck your left bum cheek under. Turn your right hip out. Again, the gaze can be up to that right thumb. Nice long line of the spine to the crown of the head, so we're not just collapsing over that left thigh. Remember, you can use that block on the inside now with that left foot if you wish. The block is always an option if you don't reach the floor, or if you just need a little more stability in a pose. So bring your right hand back down onto the hip. Take a bend into your left knee. Bring your fingertips of your left hand in front of the left foot. Reach up with the right foot to come to hip height. Find the fingertips of the left hand on the floor, and then maybe reach that right hand up to the ceiling. Maybe gaze out to the side or up to that right thumb. Gazing up to the right thumb is always challenging on the balance. Not something I've perfected quite yet. Push the right heel away to straighten that right leg, toes of the right foot pointing out to the side. That left leg is your balancing leg. So we're coming to the end of our bunch of 3 of triangle, reverse triangle and half moon. Take a bend back into that left knee, bring both hands down either side of that left foot. Lift that left leg up to the ceiling. If you've done a 3-legged vinyasa on one side, do it again on the other. If not, take one of the other 4 options. If you come in with me, bend the knees, bend the elbows, scoop the body through to chaturanga, lift up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades back, and then lift the hips, squeeze the heels down, finding your down dog. We're going to take a sun salutation from here, so gaze in between the hands, take a bend in the knees, step or jump to the front of the mat and allow the body to fold over the legs. Your next breath in, scoot the arms around and up towards the ceiling, maybe take a little back bend. On your out breath, fold over the hips, bring the hands to the floor, let the head hang. Breath in, half lift. Breath out, plant the hands, step or jump back, plank or chaturanga. Roll through, up, lift up the chest. Make your way back to down dog. Lifting the hips, squeezing those heels back. Okay, now the next bunch of 3, 2 poses, then a balancing pose on the end. Feel free to have the block. Actually, you won't need the block on this one. Breath in, right leg lifts. Breath out, bring that knee towards the chest, come onto the toes of the back foot as you step your right foot through. Find crescent lunge first. So we're on the toes of the back foot, bend into your right knee. Try and tether those ribs and hips to keep a strong centre body. Sink into that right knee a little further. Relax the shoulders down towards those hips. Reach up through the fingertips as much as you can, straightening through those elbows. We're going to find our twisted warrior. Left hand forward, right hand back, turn and twist to that right side room. Sink a little lower in those hips if you can find it. Back leg stays nice and straight. Right knee stays bent, still keeping the torso stacking, but the shoulders turning. Then turn yourself back to the front of the room, find crescent lunge for a moment. Then bring the hands to the chest, step forward onto your right foot, bringing your left knee through. So your choice can be stay here with your left knee bent, or if you wish to take hand to big toe and straighten, bring your right hand to the left foot, left hand onto the hip, and then straighten that left leg out. Grow tall through the crown. Left-handed reaches up and over to twist to the left. So you can have that knee bent, right hand on the knee, or that left knee bent, right hand on the left foot. Hand to big toe, standing balance. One more breath in this position. Then bring the left hand down. Take a bend back into the knee if it's not there already. Both hands onto the hips. Step your left foot back. Bring your hands down either side of that right foot. Right leg lifts. Remember, choice to take a 3-leg vinyasa, which is where I'm going, forward to plank. Release down to a hover. Hop off the back toes, drop the right foot down. Lift up. Make your way back to down dog. Lifting the hips and squeezing of those heels back. Try and create some space across the collarbones in down dog. Widen the fingers to give good grounding and support. Heels squeezing back, feet hip width apart. Take those 3 poses, bunch of 3 on the left side. Breath in, left leg lifts. Breath out, bring that knee to the chest. Goes in between the hands and step your left foot through. Stay low in the hips as you raise your body. Arms up high, back leg straight, left knee bent. Crescent lunge on this side. Tether those ribs and hips. Keep everything strong in the center. Then find your twisted warrior, right hand forward, left hand back, turn, rotate to the left. Sink low in the hips, twist through the torso, rotation of that spine. Squeeze that right shoulder round a little more if you can, using those oblique muscles in the waist to help. Then scoot the left arm down, bring the hands to chest. Step forward onto your left foot, bring your right knee through. So again, your choice here to either bring your left hand onto your right knee or your left hand on to the toe of the right foot. Straightening the leg or keeping the knee bent. Reach up and over with the right hand and turn to the right. Breathe into this standing balance. Notice all those muscles in that left foot working to help that balance happen. The core working strong to keep everything in line. Use the breath as your 1-point focus. Bring your right hand back through onto the hip. Take a bend back into the right knee if it's not already. And then step your right foot back. Hands either side of your left foot. Lift the left leg. If you did 3-legged vinyasa on one side, take it on this. Forward to plank. Release to a hover. Hop off the back toes, drop the left foot, lift the chest. Take it back to down dog. Lifting of the hips and squeezing of those heels back. Have a nod, have a shake of the head. We have one more bunch of 3. So starting on your right leg, raise the right leg up to the ceiling. Bring the knee to the chest, come onto the toes of the back foot as you step your right foot through. Drop your left heel down internally, bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot, use a block if you wish, keep the right knee bent, left hand comes onto the shoulder to turn the shoulders. Reach the left hand to the ceiling, turn the palm to the front of the mat, and then reach forward with that left hand. Side angle stretch. Push into the outside edge of the back foot. Tuck your right hip under and turn your left hip out. Use that right elbow and shoulder to push into that right knee. To turn and rotate the twist more towards that left side room. One more breath here. And then bring the shoulders back to face the floor. Bring yourself up with the torso, palms together. Left elbow hooks under the right. We've come onto the toes of the back foot now as we rotate and turn that body to the right side room. Sink the hips nice and low. The left leg is nice and straight, encouraging the left heel back. The right knee's bent and sole of that right foot is really grounding into the mat for support. Try not to let that left hip drop down. Try and keep it nice and level with the right. So our next standing balance is half moon, but in reverse. So bring your hand of the left in front of your right foot, step forward onto your right leg, and turn and twist the chest to the right side room. Toes of the left foot back to the shins. Once you've turned the chest, maybe you lift that right hand up and maybe gaze up towards that foot. Right leg is straight, left leg is straight, left heel is in line with that left hip. Fingertips of the left are on the floor for a little support, or on a block if you wish to use it. And we're trying to stack the right shoulder as much as we can on top of the left shoulder, finding this reverse half moon. One more breath here. Then release both hands down, bend into your right knee, step your left foot back. Raise your right leg up to the ceiling. Choice to do three-legged vinyasa, or if you come in with me, doing our scooping snake. Bend into the knees, bend into the elbows, scoop the body through. Roll through, up, lift up the chest. Making your way back to down dog. Lifting of the hips and a squeeze of the heels back. Take a breath here. Have a nod and a shake of the head. Same on that left side. Breath in, your left leg lifts. Breath out, bring that knee to the chest. Come onto the toes of the back foot as you step your left foot through. Drop your right heel down internally. Your left hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Turn the shoulders. Raise the right hand to the ceiling. Turn the right palm forward. And then drop that right hand towards the front of the mat. Use that left arm to anchor the twist. Push nice and strong into both feet, as much into the back foot as you are the front foot. That right shoulder's stacking. Left bum cheek tucked under, right hip turned out. You should feel a stretch of the skin down the right side body as you reach forward with that right hand. And then turn the chest to the floor. Come onto the toes of the back foot, lift the chest slightly, palms together. Right elbow hooks over the left knee. And we turn, twist and rotate towards that left side room. Keep those hips nice and low and that left knee bent. Maybe tracking the left knee over that left ankle. Doesn't matter if it comes slightly further forward or slightly further back, depending on the mobility of both the ankle and that knee. Try and grow long and tall through the spine. Push that right heel back. Try not to drop into that right hip. One more breath in rotated lunge before we take it into our twisted half moon. So bringing your right hand to just in front of your left foot. Step forward onto your left foot as you raise your right leg up to hip height. Turn the chest to the left, lifting that left shoulder up. And then when you've got that turn, maybe reach up with that left hand. Right leg's in line with the hips. Right fingertips are support on the floor. Left leg straight, and it's the one we're balancing on. Maybe the gaze can go up to that left hand if you wish. Try and find as much rotation from that spine as we can. One more breath here. Then release that left hand down, right hand down. Step your right foot back. Lift your left leg up to the ceiling. If you did three-legged vinyasa on the right, do it again on the left. If you're coming with me, I'm taking our traditional chaturanga option. Forward to plank, inhale. Release to a hover. Roll through, up. Lift up the chest, squeeze those shoulders back. And then take it back into down dog. Lifting the hips, squeezing those heels down. Have a nod and have a shake of the head. One more bunch of three, but we're only going on one side. So on your breath in, raise that right leg. Bring that knee to the chest. Gaze in between the hands as you step your right foot through. So we're going to do both sides on both the balance and on our Skandasana, which is bending into your right knee and straightening your left leg. So your left toes come back towards the shins. When you've found the bend and the balance, maybe bring your hands away and palms together at the chest. So we're bent in the right knee, straight in the left leg. Breathe nice and easy into this balance. Then release the hands down, walk the hands across to the back of the mat, bend into your left knee and straighten your right leg. Some people's heels can come down on the bent knee. I haven't got that range of movement in my ankle. If you found the balance, lift up through the chest, up through the crown of the head. So you should feel a nice stretch on that inner right thigh. Easy breaths here. So this is left and right side of pose 1 of a bunch of 3. Then come back with the hands, come back to the center. We now have a wide leg. You can place that block in the middle. Heels slightly out, toes slightly in. Bring the hands into the center of the mat. And a long spine. Feel that crown of the head pushing forward, a straight back like you could balance a cup of coffee on the spine. Feel that length through the torso, the lift of the pelvis. So we're feeling a strong core center, the belly's drawn back. Then bring your left hand into the center, your right hand onto your shoulder, turn the body to the right side, and then send that right hand to the ceiling, gazing up towards that thumb. One more breath here. Then bring that right hand down to where the left hand is. So we've done the right side twist on one side. Bring your left hand onto the left shoulder, twist the torso, then raise that left hand, maybe gaze to that thumb. Bring that left hand down and then allow that body to fold over the legs. Just finishing off pose 2. Slowly curl up through that spine, bending the knees slightly as you curl up. And roll the shoulders back. Heel toe the feet back into center. We're going to take our standing figure 4 balance for our third pose on this round. Weight into your left foot. I'm not mirror imaging you here. Bring your knee of your right up to center. Turn the knee out, bring that foot onto the top of that left thigh and bend into that left knee. Keeping the torso up tall, the right knee dropping out, hands to the chest, right toes towards the shins, and find your figure 4 standing balance, focusing on something in front of you as you hold this pose. Nice and easy breaths. Relaxed shoulders, active spine, active core. Noticing all the muscles that are working to hold you in this space. One more breath before we take it onto our opposite side, standing onto our right leg. Straighten up through the torso, release the right foot to the floor. Bring your weight into your right foot, lift your left knee. Turn your knee out, left ankle onto the top of the right thigh, left toes back to the shins, bend into that right knee, try not to lean too far forward. Push into the palms, activate the arms. Keep that focus, keep that strength of that standing leg. So we've done 5 rounds of bunch of 3s. We've done warrior 1, 2, 3. We've done reverse triangle, triangle and half moon. We've done crescent lunge into twisted warrior, into hand to big toe balance. We have also done side angle stretch. Come out of the pose, into rotated lunge, into half moon reverse. We've done wide leg skandasana to both right and left. We've done wide leg forward fold rotation, right and left. And we've done figure 4 right and left on this last standing balance. Close the eyes, keep the palms together at the chest. Just take a moment in stillness in the centre of your mat. Release the hands down by the sides of the body. Open the eyes. Bring the arms up to shoulder height. Come up onto the tiptoes. And then slowly drop the bum towards the heels in a slow movement. Keeping the torso tall. Keeping the heels pushing forward. Bringing down the bum. Bring the hands together at the chest. We'll take a rotation. Left elbow hooks over the right knee. And twist and turn the body to the right. Come back to centre. Right elbow, left knee. Twist the body to the left. Heels are still away. Come back to centre. Reach forward with the arms. Bring your bum to the mat. Find a cross-legged position. Tall through the spine. Hands onto the top of the knees. Breathe in, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Relax them back towards the hips. Close the eyes. We're just going to take some lateral flexion, some rotation and some extension and flexion through the spine. Opening the eyes, I'll mirror image you. Bring your left fingertips to the floor. Reach the right hand up and lean over to the left. Come back to centre. Bring your right fingertips to the floor. Reach up with the left and reach over to the right. Come back to centre. Bring your right hand onto the left knee. Your left hand behind. Rotate to the left. Come back to centre. Bring your left hand onto your right knee, your right hand behind and rotate to the right. Come back to centre. Bring your fingertips behind you, flare the ribs, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Take that back into extension. And then bring the torso back up tall. Walk the hands forward and roll through that spine, bringing the forehead to wherever it reaches, taking that spine into flexion. Roll up through that spine. Bring the hands onto the knees, a little circumduction, so start to roll around the torso, keeping the pelvis stable in one direction. And then take it the other way. Back into centre. Close the eyes. Take an easy breath in. Long breath out. Just take a moment in seated. Maybe set an intention to go forward in your day or to bring into tomorrow. Hold that intention in your subconscious thoughts. Your next breath in, reach the hands up and over the head. Bring the palms together at the top. Bring the hands to the chest. Just take a moment with the head bowed. Have peace in your thoughts, have peace in your words, have peace in your hearts. From my heart to yours, Namaste.